She told me we were done. No fight, no tears, just, I think we need a break. But the way she said it, the way her eyes lingered like she was watching for a reaction that wasn't heartbreak, that was calculation. My name is Ethan Blake. I'm 30. I build games for a living, not relationships. At least not anymore. Rachel and I were together for 2 years. We built a life. Shared playlists, Friday night Thai takeout. One bathroom, one bed, one rhythm. She said I was too calm, too rational, too safe. But the truth, I gave her everything I had. Quietly, consistently, without grand gestures or fake drama. Turns out that's not what she wanted. She wanted fire. She wanted chaos. Or maybe she wanted control. Because the night she broke up with me, it wasn't about ending things. It was a test, a setup. She walked away to see if I'd chase, to measure my love by how loud I screamed or how hard I begged. But I didn't chase. I didn't cry. I just stood there and watched her walk into her own trap. And if you've ever been tested by someone who should have trusted you, this story might feel uncomfortably familiar. Subscribe for more revenge stories, real, raw, and unfiltered. My name is Ethan Blake. I'm 30 years old. I live in Minneapolis. And until a few weeks ago, I thought I understood love. Not the Hollywood kind. Not flowers and fireworks, but the kind you build brick by quiet brick. Shared groceries, inside jokes, a playlist you both argue over but never change. Rachel and I were together for 2 years. She moved into my apartment after 9 months. We had a system. She handled the groceries. I handled the cooking. She hated doing laundry. I found it calming. We weren't perfect, but we worked. At least I thought we did. She was bright, social, always had 5 tabs open in her brain, worked in digital marketing for a startup in downtown. I was the opposite, focused, quiet, spent my days buried in code-building puzzle games that no one played until they suddenly did. She said I grounded her. I said she pulled me out of my shell. We had a cat named Pixel, a favorite Thai place down the block, a routine that felt solid. But routines can be deceiving, and sometimes the ground you build on isn't as stable as you think. Because behind every quiet dinner, every shared blanket, every kiss goodbye, there might be something else growing, something you don't see until it's too late. Rachel didn't come alone. She came with a package deal. 3 women, 1 group chat, endless loyalty. They called themselves the Circle, unironically. There was Allie, the ringleader, sharp, organized, always reading something brilliant and offering unsolicited advice with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. June was the soft-spoken one, a kindergarten teacher. She baked for every occasion, but her words always carefully measured like a therapist running diagnostics. Then there was Heather, the wild card, the gossip relay. She always knew who was dating whom, who got fired, who cheated, and when. They were close, too close. They had matching bracelets, bi-weekly brunches, and a shared belief that if one of them had a problem, they all had a problem. When Rachel and I first got serious, they welcomed me, invited me to dinner, game nights, birthdays. But something shifted. Questions became sharper, jokes carried an edge, and the smiles started to feel like interviews. Do you guys ever fight? Has he ever made you jealous? Would he do anything for you? Rachel always brushed it off, said they were just protective, said it came from love. But love doesn't whisper when you walk into the room, doesn't stop texting when you sit down, doesn't treat your relationship like an experiment waiting for results. Something about them felt rehearsed, like they were waiting for something to break. At first it was nothing, a pause, a look, a moment too quiet. Rachel started stepping outside to take calls. Not once, not twice, every time her phone buzzed. She smiled at her screen in a way she hadn't smiled at me in weeks. That half laugh she used to save for inside jokes now belonged to someone else. Or maybe to the mirror. Her group chat was always open, notifications nonstop. I asked once what they were talking about. She said Allie's going through a breakup, girl stuff, then changed the subject. One night, I came home early. They were at our place, the Circle, sitting around the kitchen island, wine glasses, full voices hushed. I walked in. Silence. Rachel cleared her throat. Hey, babe. Heather forced a smile. Allie stared. June fiddled with a bracelet. Then Allie said it. Would you ever test someone you love? Just to be sure. I blinked. Test them how? She shrugged. Like, see if they'd fight for you. If they'd chase you. Rachel didn't speak. Just looked down at her glass. Didn't defend me. Didn't say it was ridiculous. That night she kissed me before bed. But it didn't feel like love. It felt like data collection. And I started counting the steps between affection and ambush. She texted me on a Wednesday. Just one line. Can we talk Military Park? By the fountain. Not our apartment. Not a coffee shop. Not anywhere with doors that could close. Neutral ground. Public setting. A place where you stage performances. I knew the park. We'd walked there on our first spring together. She fed ducks. I took pictures. But this time there were no ducks. No laughter. Just Rachel sitting on a bench looking like she'd rehearsed her lines. I sat beside her. Hey. She didn't smile. Didn't look at me. Just stared ahead at the fountain like it owed her something. Then she said it. I think we should break up. No build-up. No argument. No tears. Just clinical. I waited. Gave her space to explain. But all she offered was textbook breakup language. We want different things. It's not you, it's me. I think we've grown apart. Nothing specific, nothing real, just placeholders where emotion should have been. I studied her face. Nothing cracked, no hesitation, only the occasional flicker like she was trying to remember the next line. Then came the closer. You're great, Ethan. I just need someone who challenges me more. I almost laughed, because that was Allie's phrase, not Rachel's. I didn't argue, didn't ask why, didn't beg her to reconsider. I just looked at her and said, okay. Her eyes shifted. Not sad, not angry, just surprised. Like I'd missed a cue. She blinked. Okay. Yeah, I said. If that's what you want, I respect it. She waited. Like maybe I'd changed my mind. Like the real reaction was coming. It never did. I stood up, brushed off my jeans, and said, I'll start packing my things this weekend. Rachel opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. Ethan, wait. But I was already walking. Not fast, not slow, just done. Because the second she said, I need someone who challenges me, I knew she wasn't talking about love. She was talking about performance, about fireworks, jealousy, proving something. And I wasn't going to audition for my own relationship. I don't play to the crowd. I don't fight to stay where I'm already unwanted. Love isn't a test. And I don't chase someone who's walking away on purpose. She wanted drama, she wanted emotion, she wanted proof. But I gave her something else. Silence. The silence didn't last long. By Friday morning, they started showing up. First was June. Kindergarten teacher, soft voice, big eyes. She showed up with a casserole. I figured you might not be cooking much. I let her in because rejecting food felt rude, even from someone who just watched my life fracture. She sat on my couch, watched me eat like I was a patient, monitored, measured. How are you holding up? I shrugged. Fine. She nodded. It just seemed so sudden. Rachel always said you two were solid. I looked at her, really looked, and I remembered June once told a story about a kid who lied about glue just from the way he blinked. She could spot deception across a playground. So I asked, did it seem sudden to you? Her face twitched, just slightly. What do you mean? You've known her longer than I have. You tell me. She stood too quickly, forced a smile. I just wanted to check on you. Sure. She left, but not before saying, maybe don't reach out to Rachel for a while. She needs space. Space. That was Allie's word. Strategic distance. They weren't done. They were watching, measuring, testing. Still, Tuesday morning, my phone rang. Rachel. I let it go to voicemail. She called again, then texted. Can we talk, please? I waited an hour, then answered simple, same place. She replied right away. Yes, I'll be there. I didn't bring flowers, didn't write a speech, didn't rehearse forgiveness. Just walked. Same park, same bench, same woman, but a different version. This time she looked nervous, hopeful, like someone waiting for a second chance they weren't sure they deserved. You came, she said. I nodded. You wanted to talk. She took a breath. I've been thinking, and maybe I made a mistake. I let the silence sit, let her fill it. I thought you didn't care, that you just let me go because I respected your choice. But maybe you should have fought. There it was again. The script, the same test, still running. I looked at her. No anger, no heartbreak, just clarity. You didn't break us, Rachel. You broke trust. That's not what I meant. You meant to control the outcome. You wanted me to fail your test so you could say it was never real. Her lips parted. No words came out because the scene wasn't playing the way she rehearsed it. Rachel looked down, fidgeted with the strap of her purse. The silence between us stretched, but I didn't feel it. I'd learned by now whoever breaks the silence loses the upper hand. I thought if you really loved me, you'd fight. I leaned forward. You mean chase you, beg, perform. She winced. It wasn't about performance, wasn't it? She didn't answer. How long did you plan it? Did Ally help write the script? Her head snapped up. No one wrote anything. Then why did it all sound rehearsed? No denial, just shifting eyes. Did you even want to break up? Or were you just waiting to see if I'd react the way they wanted? It got complicated. There it was. The soft confession, wrapped in half-truth. We talked about it, okay. They said you were too passive, too safe. I nodded slowly. So you staged a crisis to measure passion. I didn't mean to hurt you, but you did. Not by leaving, but by lying. By letting them turn our relationship into a lab experiment. Her eyes filled, but I didn't comfort her. I wasn't the one who broke it. And this time, I wasn't going to fix what she'd chosen to destroy. She wiped her eyes. Tried to reach for my hand, but I pulled back. Not out of spite, but clarity. I did fight for us, Rachel. Every day, in the quiet ways. I showed up, listened, stayed consistent. That was my fight. She shook her head like trying to rewrite what already happened. You didn't chase me because you weren't running. You were acting. Her voice cracked. It was a mistake. I was scared. They said if you didn't react, it meant you didn't care. I stood up. You let someone else define my love for you. You handed them the keys to something we built together. She stood too. Please, we can fix this. I looked at her one last time. It wasn't broken until you decided to break it. Then I walked away. Not fast, not dramatic. Just done. And this time I didn't look back. No music swelled. No final hug. No forgiveness whispered under breath. Just silence. Sharp. Final. Like the closing line of a story that never deserved a sequel. Monday morning, my phone buzzed nonstop. Screenshots, group chats, receipts. Someone leaked everything. The messages, the plan, the test. It started on a Reddit thread. Is it okay to fake a breakup to test loyalty? Then came the screenshots, Allie's idea. June's strategy, Heather's updates. And Rachel's message, this feels wrong. I don't want to do this anymore. Followed by Allie's reply. If you back out now, you'll never know if he truly loves you. The internet devoured it. Twitter, TikTok. Every comment a match dropped into gasoline. Allie became a meme. Loyalty test girl. Her name trended for 36 hours. Her company got flooded with calls. Clients dropped contracts. She posted a statement. It didn't help. June tried to defend her. Bad move. People dug up her messages too. Heather deleted everything. Instagram, LinkedIn, gone. Rachel, she went quiet until she called me. Left a voicemail. Tears, regret, the same old script. I cut them off. I see it now. I'm sorry. I still love you. I never called back. Sometimes silence says more than justice. Sometimes people destroy themselves with their own plans. All you have to do is get out of the way. 6 weeks later, I launched my game. A puzzle platformer, simple on the surface, but underneath layers. Every level was about trust. Every obstacle, a test disguised as a choice. The main character, a quiet man trying to escape a world built by people who said they loved him. It blew up. Steam, IGN, even Kotaku called it a devastating meditation on manipulation wrapped in pixels. Sales went through the roof. Reviews flooded in. Awards followed. But I didn't care about the praise. What mattered was what I wrote in the credits, for anyone who's ever been tested by someone who should have trusted them instead. I didn't name names. Didn't need to. Rachel saw it. I know she did. She sent a message, one line. I'm proud of you. I didn't respond. Because this wasn't for her. It was for me, for surviving, for staying solid when they tried to shake me. My revenge wasn't loud, wasn't cruel. It was a game, an award, a life rebuilt on my own terms. I didn't need closure, I had release. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel broken. I felt done. It was a Friday. I just wrapped a podcast interview about the game, walked out of the studio, and there she was. Rachel, standing by the curb, no makeup, no defense, just her. Hey, I paused. Hey, she stepped closer, hands shaking. I saw everything, the game, the credits. I know what it meant. I said nothing. I made a mistake, a huge one. I got lost in their voices, in the fear. I nodded. You didn't deserve any of it. You're right. I didn't. Tears welled up in her eyes. I've cut them off. Therapy, resetting everything. I'm not here to ask for anything, just maybe someday you'll forgive me. I looked at her for a long moment. She looked older now, not physically, emotionally, like someone who finally understood the cost. Forgiveness isn't a door you knock on, I said. It's one I open when I'm ready. And I'm not. She nodded. Okay. Then she turned. No drama, no last hug. Just a quiet goodbye from a story that had already ended. I walked home that night alone, but not lonely. The past still there, still painful, but it didn't control me anymore. I wasn't angry, wasn't bitter, just clear. People say revenge is ugly, but they forget it doesn't have to be loud. You don't need to ruin someone to rise. Sometimes the best revenge is walking away with your integrity intact. No yelling, no dragging, no online wars. Just healing, growth, peace. Rachel taught me that. Not by loving me, but by betraying me. She showed me who I was when everything cracked. And I like the man I met in the ruins. To anyone listening, if they test your love walk, if they confuse loyalty with control run, if they make you prove your worth, instead of seeing it, they're not your person. You don't owe people a performance just to be loved. You owe yourself the truth. And that's all I ever wanted. If this story hit you in the gut, subscribe. Because sometimes the best stories come from the quietest battles. Allie lost her job. After the screenshots went viral, her marketing firm couldn't keep her. Too many calls, too much bad press. No apology post could fix it. She tried rebranding, new name, new LinkedIn. Didn't work. Internet doesn't forget. June went quiet too. Stopped posting baking videos, closed her Etsy shop. Turns out people don't want cookies from someone who manipulates friends. Heather moved back home. Deleted all social accounts, went completely offline. No statement, no defense, just silence. And Rachel, she tried to rebuild. New therapist, new friends, new city. But every time she looked in the mirror, she saw the moment she let others talk her out of something real. As for me, I didn't expose them, didn't tweet, didn't name names. They burned their own bridges. I just kept walking. Sometimes the cleanest revenge is doing nothing. Letting truth do the heavy lifting. If someone has to test your love to believe in it, they don't deserve it. Love is not a riddle. It's not an exam. It's not a stage where you're expected to perform just to be accepted. Real love sees you as you are, on your good days and your silent ones. It doesn't demand a fight to feel real. It doesn't stage drama just to feel alive. So if you've ever been tested, walked away from, manipulated for your own good, I see you. You're not weak. You're not cold. You're not unworthy. You're just someone who deserves peace more than performance. That was my story. I didn't yell, didn't destroy, didn't play their game. I let the truth do its job, and I rebuilt stronger, quieter, clearer. If this story made you feel something, if it reminded you of your own silence, your own moment of letting go, hit that subscribe. Not for me, but for every story that finally gets told without needing to scream. Because sometimes the loudest revenge is choosing not to play the game and walking away without looking back. If you've ever been tested and chose peace over chaos, this one's for you. Don't forget to subscribe for more true stories, where revenge doesn't scream, it whispers. This is Ethan's story, but maybe it's yours too.